Are you a tree hugger? Are you a nature lover? Do you like plants? Do you know the new term called forest bathing? Well, forest bathing is not taking a bath in the forest. It is walking in the forest or going on a trail, and that's how you soak in the atmosphere, and that's called forest bathing. Hello, friends. Welcome to the session on care and maintenance of indoor and outdoor plants. I'm Dr. Samir Divanji, an associate professor and training and placement head at AISSMS College of Hotel Management. So this is a small section of your chapter, which is on horticulture. So let's look at care and maintenance of indoor and outdoor plants. Can you tell the name of this plant? It's a succulent, yes. I've clicked some pictures for you from my personal collection. This one, can you all guess? Yes, it's a jade plant. This one, I'm told, is called a Chinese money plant or a variation of that. This one is a spider plant. This one in a beautiful Buddha pot is another variety of a succulent. All right, so, and this is of course the money plant. So these are some of the indoor plants that I've shown you. Now, care for indoor plants. We all like plants in our midst. Plants elevate the atmosphere right away. It creates a good feel. Of course, it adds to the oxygen. It adds to the beauty and aesthetic of the room. Many years back in hotels, a bud or a flower used to be placed in the room. Eventually, hotels realized that it's not only expensive, but more importantly, it is not environment friendly or nature friendly. So a lot of hotels started replenishing the good old flower arrangement of flower or a bud with a plant. So that plant is kept in the room, and then it adds to the beauty of the room and aesthetic of the room. I also know a hotel that I worked with. We had a tie-up with a local nursery where they replenished our plants. So it was like a library of plants. They gave a batch of plants and then they took them back every week. So we had fresh new plants every week without having to buy them. Isn't that nice? All right. So you all know that every plant releases oxygen and takes in carbon dioxide. So it's great for our breathing in the atmosphere. The oxygen levels go up automatically. Indoor plants also add a soothing effect, right? However, you see some people going for artificial plants because indoor plants do require attention. You need attention, you need watering, repotting, cleaning, etc. Indoor plants can be placed single or grouped together. So depends on where you're keeping them. Usually in a guest room, a single plant looks nice. They can be placed near a window or a shelf or hung on the wall or ceiling. Okay. Some popular indoor plants, of course, I showed you some of the pictures, but palms or Indian rubber plant, the succulents, cacti, philodendron, jade plant, etc. are some common popular indoor plants. Very important is watering, of course. You know, all plants and trees take most of their nutrition from the soil and water. So the amount of water and the frequency of water, how often do you have to water, depends on the kind of plant. So when you get the plant, you have to know a little about the plant. That this plant, succulents typically require lesser water and less frequency. So about twice a week is fine. But some indoor plants require regular watering every day, but lesser quantity. because they are not exposed to sun directly. So amount of water and frequency of watering depends on the kind of plant, the weather, type of heating in the room. All right. Sometimes air conditioners tend to dry up things. All right. Avoid watering too much and also avoid the soil to be dry and powdery. So we have to avoid either extremes, not too watery and moist, but not dry and powdery either. Potting and repotting. Simple logic here. If the roots begin to come out, plant probably needs repotting. Or good solid quality soil should be used. Sometimes I do this at home as well. We just, instead of replenishing, if the pot is fine, you replenish the top entire layer with more soil instead of repotting. Repotting, maybe you can push off to 6 months or 1 year later. If you see some roots coming out, you can put a big thick layer of fresh, rich soil. Cleaning. Now you'll say cleaning of plants. Yes, they do get dusty sometimes, or they need cleaning so that the pores do not clog. So once the pores are not clogged, they also are healthier, and then the any diseases or attack of insects is reduced. So sprays nowadays, or sponge the leaves with water and dry, or sprays that come nowadays are good. Feeding. Now here sometimes you will feel that yes, the soil or the cocoa peat or the water takes care of the nutrition, but you may want to consider a good proprietary plant food if you want to have healthy plants. I know a friend who used to put vitamin tablets which are expiry date, which have expired, those in the water. Yeah, and the plants used to like them and grow healthy. All right. Care of indoor plants continued. So the light requirement again is important. Indoor doesn't mean you can keep them in dark. Yeah, they need some light, of course. They need not be exposed to direct sunlight, but they need some light. But depends again on the plant. Some plants need a little more light, so windowsill or near any opening is better. But some are fine with a little more interior of the room. Keep pets away. You don't want them to mess with the soil or with the plant or chew the leaves away. And as I said at the beginning, learn about the plant a little. What kind of plant it is, its origin, what's the amount of water, heat, light, kind of pot, how much does it require, how delicate is it, how hardy it is. Some plants are very easy to grow and easy to maintain. You just water them and they're fine. Some need a lot more care and attention. All right. So besides these points of care for indoor plants, an executive housekeeper, especially in a hotel, also needs to take care of a few more things. What are these? These are also the aesthetics. So once your plant is fine, you also need to look at the aesthetics. So it means how is the arrangement? How is it looking and going with the overall decor? The correct height. You don't want the indoor plant in the guest room, which is very tall and actually obstructing the mirror or the cabinet or the table on which it's kept. So you want it the correct height as well to go with the ceiling height and the overall scheme of things. The right container, right? Is it aesthetic as well? Otherwise, it's a beautiful plant but a very sad looking container. We don't want that. Reconditioning schedules. Now, typically, as I said earlier, the library of potted plants that we had, they used to take the plants away because the plants then need to be reconditioned. So it's important that you also follow that a little. So most of the hotels that keep plants have a little greenhouse. The hot gardener or the horticulture department under housekeeping maintains that. So these conditioning schedules are important when you take them to a greenhouse or a place in your nursery, in your hotel, where they are again given a lot of care, attention, nutrition, which may not be possible, or you spray them with some fertilizer, maybe natural, of course, not chemicals, and you just generally take care of them and get them back to being healthy. Misting, spraying, trimming, treating, all that can be also done in the greenhouse during reconditioning. So it's important that you follow this schedule. All right, another picture for you. I'm trying to find out the name of this plant. If you can write in your comments. All right. Very often plants die because of overwatering. All right. We think that a lot of love, so a lot of water. No, that doesn't work. So do not underwater, but definitely do not overwater. Signs of underwatering: slow leaf growth. Again, you have to know the type of plant. Some leaves of plants do have a very slow growth generally. Translucent leaves, premature dropping of flowers or leaves. All right, they just drop. Or you have yellow leaves, brown leaves, or curled leaf edges. That means not enough water. Signs of overwatering: fungus growth, mushy roots. So roots die very often and leaves with brown patches. You also don't want that. Now, like indoor plants, outdoor plants also require care. Of course, they're in nature, they're outdoor, maybe in a pot or your garden directly in the soil, on land, but you still have to take care of a few things. So here we are talking about outdoor but potted plants. So here again you have to know which need sun more than the others. So semi indoor, semi outdoor, or some are outdoors but shade loving. Some are outdoors and sun requiring. So you have to be very careful about the sun versus shade requirement. Keep an eye on the temperature. Now seasons change, so you have to keep an eye. You can't just say, okay, this plant requires sun, so it's in the sun all the time. Summers in some parts of India can be very harsh, and you can actually see your plant burning even with the water that you're giving it. So you have to be careful then. So you have to look at the season and how severe is the season. Rain. Now rainwater is great. People say collect rainwater and water your indoor plants as well. But having said that, again, check the rain that's falling on your outdoor potted plants. Because if you don't have a good draining, or if the pot is clogged at the bottom, then you have too much rainwater accumulating. Deadheading. Now, deadheading is removing dead flowers from the plant for improving aesthetics. So you ensure that you take care of these little things. The leaves that have turned yellow or brown or dried, or the flowers, or any other little growth that you see which is not required or not good for the plant, you remove all that. Take care of pests. So hanging baskets sometimes can be the answer for that. It may not always be possible though. So this generally is indoor and outdoor plants that you have to take care of. So basically, if you look at the pot or the container, the soil, the watering schedule, the light, shade, sun requirement, and the cleaning and giving them enough nutrition, you're fine with plants then. Yeah. So we can talk about it more when we speak about gardening and we speak about horticulture in general. This is just the basics on indoor and outdoor potted plants care. I hope you grow some of your own at home, even herbs that can be grown on your windowsill or even indoors with a little care, but will add to your dish that you're cooking. So I have a short quiz at the end. The description uh, has the link to the quiz, so please attend that and start noticing more indoor and outdoor plants wherever you go. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for your commitment to be an excellent hotelier. Have a wonderful day ahead.